first one I had on the 25th in Garland, so welcome, everyone, welcome. I'm only gonna do this quarterly, but what I wanna do first off is kind of start off in the cities that I serve. So I wanna do one in Garland, one here, the next one will be Ball Springs, since everybody's not coming to one location. But then they will learn that when I do them quarterly, there's gonna be one, and if not quarterly, maybe just twice a year, but there'll be one in Garland, and then that one will carry Garland, Rowlett, Saxe, and Wiley. And then the one I have here in Mesquite will be for Mesquite, Sunnyvale, Ball Springs, and East Dallas. So that way they'll know it's just one location, because I can't do 8 every year. So that's kind of what I'm going on to go for. This one is more of a meet and greet, introduction, kind of share with you what the constable's office does. Even today, every day, someone is always asking me, what you do? So that's kind of what this is, and you guys should have some information in front of you, just a synopsis of what we do. A lot of people also don't know that constables are law enforcement. So, you know, that's there as well, and kind of what our duties are limited to. Can we enforce the laws? Absolutely, but we try to stay on the civil side of law instead of the criminal side of law. But if we have to enforce the law, then that's what it's there for. You know, we go do warrants and things of that nature as well. So before I get started, I want to let my staff introduce themselves to you, and then I'm going to release them because I know they're ready to go home. They've been here since 8 o'clock. But I think they're all right there because they want a 10-hour shift, so I think they're going to be all right. They're trying to get to the 10-hour shift. So if y'all would, if you would come up, please, my staff. And right now, this office holds myself, constable, chief deputy, lieutenant, and then 12 deputy constables. And right now, I'm fully housed. Actually, I just had someone leave Friday, so we're looking at somebody for that position. But if everyone would come up, and then of course, my chief deputy. So real quick, and I'll have you guys just kind of a little bit who you are, how long you've been police, what you do, just to introduce yourself a little bit. But this is a staff. This is somebody you may see in your neighborhood, okay? For instance, somebody might have the Mesquite area by Horn. You'll see them quite often. One of my officers, Transana, has Garland, you know, a big part of that, but then they're gonna move around. So you'll see one of these officers. Now, out of the 12 officers, the judges, we give them a bailiff. So there's a bailiff in this location, and there's one in Garland location. So my bailiff in this location is Deputy Jones, and Garland location is Deputy Levy. Okay, so.
I have a question. So
yes.
You have 12 deputies for all of those particular counties that you're in?
Yes, so the way it works is, hold on, Mom, call me, she called again, answer. The way it works is, so 2 are here, so there's 10 out in the area. So there's different districts in the area, okay? So Mesquite may have District 205 or 206, and Mesquite may cover this little piece, and then some are Sunnyvale. So you'll have a deputy in that area that's serving papers. Then you have another one in Ball Springs that's serving. So there's a district or 2 in each city, okay? And there's 8 cities. So I service Ball Springs, or we service Ball Springs, Garland, Mesquite, Rowlett, Saxe, Sunnyvale, and Wiley. Now, Saxe and Wiley are only gonna be your Dallas County size. We don't have a lot of Wiley at all. Really, we don't. We may have 200 residents in Wiley, but we do have a big portion of Saxe. So those deputies would be in those areas. Having 2 locations, we do still have 2 locations, and that's why. The Garland location, we don't want Saxe and Wiley have to come all the way to Mesquite if they need, you know, something from the courts. They can go to Garland, and that's Judge Margaret O'Brien. She's in the Garland office. Also, we have deputies in that office. So the administrative staff used to be there. All the administrative staff is gonna be here now until our new building gets built, and that's gonna be about a mile down the street. Once you go over the railroad tracks across from next to the fire station, that's gonna be our house. The tax office, justice of the peace, and constables will be in that office. So basically, you have deputies here. You have about 7 at this location, 5 at Garland. And then you have the chief over here as supervisor, and the lieutenant sits over in the Garland location. So without further ado, I'd like to first introduce to you my deputy chief, Chief Turner, Shauna Turner.
Good evening, my name is Shauna Turner. I come to you with this, last month, this is my 36th year in law enforcement. And so it has been a journey, a great journey. I am proud to work for the now Constable, Deanna Hammond. And so if you should ever need me, please give me a call.
Lieutenant Alola.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Tamirin Aluwale. They call me Aluwale or O. I'm newly aboard here at Precinct 2. Gladly to be here on the Constable Hammond and Chief Turner. I have 7 years in the Constable's office at Precinct 1, but I promoted over here. And then I have 6 years at the from the sheriff's side, so a total of 13 years with the county. And then 5 years as a police officer at DART, various years as a dispatcher with multiple municipalities throughout. So thank you for being here.
All right. And so those are my right hand, along with the one that if she was not here, the office wouldn't function. And that's gonna be my chief clerk, Tartisha Hill.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tartisha Hill. I've been part of Dallas County for the last 7 months, I believe, almost. I come to you from the city of Box Springs. I served 6 years on the city council. I was the Democratic nominee for Congressional District Texas 5, and I am a community health worker through the state of Texas and worked at Baylor Healthcare for 16 years. So I'm here to help Constable Hammond. Thank you.
So that's my administrative staff. And then I have my deputies, and if you guys would like, just kind of go around, introduce yourself, how long you've been here, maybe in law enforcement, so they know a little bit about you, and that'll be it. So I'm gonna let them start with you.
How's it going? I'm Tim Drix. I got 15 years in law enforcement. I'm a master peace officer. I've been here for a week. But I'm getting my feet wet. They literally threw us on our first day of HR orientation. We suited up and went out there. They put us to work, but it's exciting.
Thank you.
I'm Deputy Busby, 7 years total law enforcement, 2 years here in the Constable's office. Before that, I had 3 years in South Lake Police. Before that, 2 years for DART Police, so I have a little experience in a few different areas.
Hello, I'm Deputy Constable Latoya Harris. I have been with the county, well, I'm gonna say law enforcement for almost 13 years. Sheriff's Department about 6, Dallas Colleges for about a little bit over 3, and I've been here going on 3 years. And I cover Saxe, Raleigh, Rowlett, and Garland.
Thank you for that.
I'm Deputy Tashani Ennis, and I came from Tarrant County. Then I transferred over here, and I've been in law enforcement for almost 8 years.
And can you do what Deputy Constable Harris did? Let them know the area you service. That was a good idea. Thank you for that. Mesquite and Sunnyvale. I just put her on the spot, so she's newly on board. So I just put her on the spot because she covering a whole bunch of areas right now.
Wherever you tell me.
Okay.
Sunnyvale,
And Mesquite.
My name is Michael Houston. Come from state police officer for over 30 years, and I only been here a week myself.
I'm Deputy Tonsana. I've been with Dallas County Constable's office, Precinct 2 for a year and a half. Almost 9 years of law enforcement experience. Prior to that, I've been 20 years in the Army. So that's all I got.
I'm Deputy Marty
Which area?
Rodriguez.
Oh, my area is North Garland.
I'm Deputy Marty Rodriguez. Been with the Constable's office for about 25 years. I cover the east side of Mesquite.
That's our subject matter expert. You left that out.
I'm Deputy Sipes. I'm the red officer, so I have the whole precinct. I don't have one area. I take the whole precinct. Been in law enforcement since 2001. Spent most of my time in Dallas County. This is my second time with Dallas County, but I've only been here a week with the Constable. So.
I'm Deputy Anthony Jones. Started with the Dallas County College District in 06, 07, and I left there to come to Precinct 1. Now I've been here 7 years. Total Springs 17 years. Been a bailiff now. I'm a bailiff now at the Mesquite under Whitfield.
I'm Cesar Avila. I've been in law enforcement about almost 28 years. Been here a year. Before this, I was at the DA's office for 8 years, and before that, I was at the Constable's office here in Dallas for about 6 years. And other previous law enforcement. And I'm a bailiff at the Garland office.
And Busby, can you let them know what area you service?
Yeah, I'm the opposite of Deputy Rodriguez, so I have basically half of Mesquite and Balk Springs.
And these two would end up eventually, Deputy Busby and Deputy Rodriguez, they will come off of a district and they'll be our RIT person. And that's kind of sit outs when we have to do our evictions and we have to sit there while the movers come in and move the stuff out. But then they'll kind of be all around. So they will back up the deputies, but they'll be doing that instead of having their own district now that I'm fully staffed.
Okay, so that was my question. So why is it that several of these amazing people are 1 week, 2 weeks into position? Is that because you?
I just hired them.
Okay.
They just started May 1st.
Okay.
May 1st, so they just came in, May 1st. We were down, when I got here, I retained everybody, and from the chief all the way down, I retained everybody. Some people moved and went with, another constable or somewhere else, so I initially lost my RIT person, which is very, very crucial position. So I lost that person, and then one other deputies. Deputy Ennis came in January and replaced one, and then we finally were able to get Deputy Drake's in for that RIT position that we've been needing. And so with that in mind, we still had 2 positions that were kind of just sitting out there in limbo. And we need more than that. We probably need about 3 more deputies in this area. But we were charged with, if you don't use those, you're gonna lose them, and if you don't use them, we're not gonna give you any more. So then we were able to go ahead and fill those 2 positions. So, along with one other person leaving in the interim. So we were able to bring 3 people in on May 1st. So at this point, we're fully staffed.
So if y'all see a black Durango, just
Constable, may I? Got something for them?
You do, Rick?
Okay.
And I just want to say, I don't know if you just really paid attention to her staff, how diverse our precinct is. And we are the most diverse constable office in this precinct, in Dallas County. So I did want to bring that to your attention. What you didn't get to see is our clerical staff. We have 4 others, and it's just as diverse as you saw the deputies.
Thank you for that, Chief. Yes, and that's what I really wanted to work on. I wanted to work on that diversity piece. I wanted to work on what Mesquite, Garland, what all those areas need, And so that's what we do, a little push out. And then although we have the ladies in here, we tend to have a few more gentlemen. Not to say the ladies aren't strong enough to do what they need to do, but we do often get warrants to go do mental illness. And so when we're doing that, depending on what area they're in, and depending on, who the subject is, depends on who we send to do that warrant. So it may need to be our gentlemen that go to that particular call that day. So, Pastor, Lacey, if he having a fit and he stands about your height and your size, we sending the gentleman over there, okay? So even though that's a ladies area, thank you for letting me use you, but that's what I mean by that, okay? And it just depends on what it is. Not to say we can't handle it, but yeah, we want to make it as smooth as possible. Then we have some that need more de-escalating, maybe just a talk down. Then we know who to send to that particular one as well. It may just need to be talked to. So that's what I want to say. We do handle that. So this office, we do a lot of things here as far as the constable's office. And when I say civil, things that are passed down from the judge for us to go out and serve. So that can be anything from the mental illness warrants that I was talking about. And then we may have, of course, the evictions. We have tax liens, just a number of things we have. But we also get things passed down to us from the district court. And those are going to be your child support, your protective orders that we have to go out on, and so we do both, local and district at this point. We do traffic, or we can enforce, like I said, we try to stay away from that unless it's just something really happening in our area. What I wanna do here is just to be a resource for the local municipalities, okay? If they need us for anything, we're available. At least we're already out there being visible. I've already heard that already. Oh my God, I see constables' cars all the time now, and they didn't see them. So I charge the staff with that, and now that we are fully staffed, they should be able to take a little bit of time out of their day just to ride around and be visible. I've charged them with 1 hour a day, not the same hour every day. No papers, no nothing, just be visible. Out in the community, riding around, stopping, talking. You see the kids in the park, walk over there, talk to them. Usually they disperse when they see you coming that way. But they are still hanging out. So I think if they start seeing us more, you know, then maybe we can decrease some of this crime. I mean, we can't, you know, we can't get rid of all of it, but at least we can deter a little bit.
So I'm just full of questions.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I always, why did you guys lose your lights on the top of your vehicle? So, like, you don't have lights anymore, so.
So, we have lights. I don't know about that. I mean, we still have them. They're just not on the top of the vehicle.
Okay.
But they're inside, in the,
Okay.
like they need to be. But what your question is why are we not doing traffic anymore, basically? Because that's where the lights came from with the traffic.
Like, when I see you, I can see you speeding through, but I don't necessarily see you with lights on, like.
Well, they have them, but they're not supposed to use lights or sirens unless they're going to a call to either back up or whatever. Because right now, you're not gonna see us with lights on because we're still, we're going to serve papers. Now, if they speeding as such you just said, I'm going to need to know that.
Well, maybe it was before, you know.
Okay.
Or maybe I should say, in the past, you know, you used to see them just like the police officers.
Right.
With the lights and everything.
Well, in the past, we were doing traffic.
Okay.
Okay, and so, all the constables officers doing traffic, but it's like anything else, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch.
Okay.
So it only takes one person to mess up a good thing. And so liability reasons, the commissioner's court pulled that away from the constable's office. Are they trying to get it back? Do they want it? Yes. Will that happen? I don't know. What I've charged people with when they come to me, and do we need it in certain areas? Yes. School zones are horrible right now. But when the citizens and constituents come to me, I charge them with talking to the commissioner. They have to go to the commissioner's court, and they can get in on those meetings and, you know, be visible. You know, they're elected officials as well, and they put them in office, so they'll have to talk to them because there's only so much we can do for that piece. That's Dallas County Vehicles, and they don't want that work for Dallas County. So right now, they feel like it's a liability. So, but that's why those lights are not there on the top, but they still should have them if they need them. You just don't see them. She said, why do you know it's not? And so, any other questions regarding any of that?